Man, where do I start? I'm sitting here in my home on the south side of Chicago, and the city has been burned down. There's been rioting, protesting, looting, everything you can imagine going on. As a matter of fact, this morning at 5 a.m., I was out and I'm driving around, and I look down on the street in front of me and there's a lot of junk, and I'm driving to try to avoid the junk. And I look up and I almost hit a young man who looked just like me, who was probably not much older than my son. And as I further investigated it, this young man had a garbage can full of clothes. And he paused as I almost hit him with my car. And we made eye contact. And then quickly after that, he scurried on with the clothes in the garbage can and hopped into a car that drove in the opposite direction that I was in. I look up and realize that he had just burglarized a store, broken all the windows out, and decided to help himself. And this was at 5 a.m. As I left that scene, I was conflicted because I have just witnessed a crime, but yet I was numb and I was paralyzed. I couldn't, on the one hand, I wanted to call the police, but I was so afraid that this young man would be another headline news story because he simply decided to do the wrong thing and something that he definitely shouldn't have to pay for with his life. But on the other hand, it just pisses me off that people feel that they can go in and take from others when they have not earned it, and they've not earned the right and the opportunity to do that. I get it. I'm an African American man, and my son is an African American young man. And we are pissed, and we are angry, and we want justice. But this is something different. This is transformed into something different. And I said something to a few people online who were asking about this situation, and they asked, what are all these riots? What are they going to solve? And, basically, I don't know. What did the Watts riot solve? What did the LA riots solve? What did Ferguson solve? All I can remember is a bunch of destruction. Maybe, just maybe, if we are lucky, there are some temporary laws that will be put in place. But before you know it, 10, 12 years from now, we'll be back to square one if we don't change it fundamentally for the right reasons. We can't continue to bully our way into changing laws. That's only a band-aid to what's really going on. We need to integrate ourselves within the institution, and we need to create change from the very fiber of those who are creating it or those who are creating policy. So yes, I am pissed, and I'm pissed at both sides. And I'm also pissed because we have other extreme groups who are not minority groups, who are out there perpetuating this violence, who are out there on the front lines creating this division, who want to shape a certain narrative to burn this country down. And as I told my friends, I don't know who's at the bottom of all of this, but I do have an idea of who's going to be blamed for this. And my son, as an 18-year-old, when he goes out here in this corporate world and he tries to make a name for himself, will he be held back institutionally because of something like this that has happened, because of something that he had nothing to do with? This has to stop. And until both sides can realize that there are good and bad actors on both sides of the fence, we're going to continuously run in this hamster wheel. In this day and age, we are so used to just drawing a hard line in the sand And the only way to solve any problem we have is our way. And it's either you are 100% with me or 100% against me. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not 100% with or against anybody. I had a friend whose daughter went out to the protest, and she didn't partake in the looting and the rioting and all that, but she was part and she was in that protest. And her mother said, I don't know whether to be proud or upset. And that's how I feel. I'm proud for those who went out there and stood up for injustice. But I'm upset at those who took an opportunity of a gentleman losing his life to get a mattress. I saw a woman on television yesterday pulling a mattress out of the store here in Chicago. What the hell is that going to accomplish? So if you're angry and you want to burn down stores, then you need to really think about the repercussions of that. I drove around the neighborhood today looking for opportunities to clean up. And what I realized as I'm driving around and seeing all of these stores who are closed and hearing about all of these older people who cannot get access to their medicine. Diabetes attacks our community, and now these stores are shut down and they can't have access to their medicine. For social justice, that was not social justice. That was a form of terrorism on our community. And we have to understand that there's a difference between protesting, between rioting, and between outright thieves. We have people who are suffering in our community right now. So as I'm riding around, what I notice is a lot of these stores are closed. And this is going to have major impacts, major economic impacts on the minority community. And like I said, I'm not too sure this wasn't created by non-minorities to shape a narrative that's way bigger than ours. We're beyond a tipping point at this point, America. We need to figure things out, and we need to figure things out quickly. But again, as I'm riding around looking for opportunities, I'm seeing all of these places boarded up. And it's just an overwhelming feeling of sadness to know that we destroyed our own community. And I see people who say, well, those people are not from our community anyway. They take our money and they take it out of the community. Okay, that is a battle that you can fight in another way. But right now, we have no choice but to take our money out of our community because our stores are closed in our community now. We have to wake up. We cannot continue to allow both sides to manipulate us. It is a problem, and it's a problem that we have to fix. This situation has created so much divisiveness, and it is sad to see what America is becoming. And when I look at videos online and I see non-minority, non-African American women or white women spray painting Black Lives Matter on a store that's being vandalized, I take issue with it. You have a Black Lives Matter movement who is about peace, who is about justice, and who is about equality. And then you have someone who goes and works to sully their name. And the idiotic people out there who have an agenda will look at those things and point their fingers to the Black Lives Matter movement. That is where we are as a society right now. It is hate on top of hate on top of hate. Our president does not deem this important enough to have a national press conference to address America as it's burning down. His priority is to continue to name call. I tracked his tweets since this started, and majority of his tweets are about the Democratic Party or calling Joe Biden Sleepy Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our president. But keep saying, well, our economy is better than it's ever been. Keep on saying that. Keep on saying that. Because a body without a heart has no chance to live. And right now, as a society, we are heartless. We are soulless, and we are gutless. And we do not have a chance to live. We will not survive in this environment. We cannot survive in this environment. So yes, I am pissed. I am pissed as a homeowner who understands that my property values will be affected. I am pissed as a father who understands that my son's life will be affected. And I am pissed as a black man to think that it had to come to this for people to respond. And now you have these major companies out there who are putting out these statements. We are for equality. We stand with black people who have been mistreated. God damn it, do something about it. I don't need another we stand with you. I need to know how you're fundamentally going to change this broken system. I don't care about, oh, we stand with you. No, show me how you stand with me, because these companies have great public relations and they understand to say buzzwords to keep the black dollar circulating within their stores. It's time for action. And me as a black man, I'm not saying we have to conquer the world. That's not what we're asking for. But we did help build this great nation. Our ancestors helped build this great nation. And we just want to feel like we are acknowledged for doing that. That's what we want. We don't want to see a community where there's 71% of all senior executives are of one gender and of one race, and that's white males. Yet they make up 31% of the population in the United States. We're just saying that seesaw needs to be more balanced. That's what we're asking for. That's what I'm asking for. Now, how do we come out of this? How do we make this right? And I believe the only way we can make this right is to have those policy changers really institute and create policy for change, not because it appeases a certain race, but because they know it's fundamentally the right thing to do. That's all we're asking. And I don't think that's too much to ask. As a matter of fact, I know that's not too much to ask. So America, let the healing process begin. I know I'm going to work like hell to do my part. And I hope if you get a chance to see this video, you figure out a way to do your part. And when you understand that lack of justice for one equals lack of justice for all, then I feel we can move in the right direction together. Thank you.